तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद, and thank you for joining us this morning. Hope everyone are well in their own places. Inshallah, today we will continue on the Ilm wa Amal series of lectures on knowledge and practice, part 3. Inshallah Ta'ala. Let's start with the blessed name of the Imam Zaman, Nur Maulana Shah Karim Al Hussaini Hazir Imam, Ya Maulay Mehrban Madad Farma, 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 Alayyul Qayyum, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Alayyul Qayyum, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban Madad Farma, Alayyul Qayyum, Ali Allah Madad Farma, Nur Maulana Shah Karim Al Hussaini Hazir Imam, Ya Maula Tawfiq Tahid Himmat wa Yari Maula, Tawfiq Tahid Himmat wa Yari Maula, या मौलाए मेहरबान अपने नूर से हम गरीबों की मदद फरमा मौला, या इमाम ज़मान, या मौला, या मौला हम गरीबों पर अपने नूर से इस रास्ते पर कोई रोशनी करते हुए मौला, तेरी हिदायत की रोशनी मौला, तेरे नूर की रोशनी मौला, ताकि हम इस इल्म के रास्ते पर आगे बढ़ सके मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान, देख मौला हम कितने गरीब और नाचार हैं मौला, मदद कर मौला, मदद फरमा मौला, तेरी मदद के बगैर मौला हम कुछ भी नहीं और कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं मौला। या मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान, मदद मौला, अल्लाहुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। तमाम साथियों को एक बार फिर या अली मदद, and thank you for joining us. Let's continue on our chapter 3. We will start with this note. Initially, as we can see, we have been going back and forth between ilm and amal, knowledge and then practice. Ilm comes first and then the practice. But someone can argue that when we were young, we practiced without knowing anything. And that would be a good argument, a good debate. That we are saying that ilm comes before the amal. The knowledge comes before the practice. But there was a time in our childhood where we practiced without knowing anything. And that would be a good debate, good argument. To rebuttal, to answer that, to put a logic into that, our initial practices come from belief, and it comes from initial practice. The word initial is underlined word. As our rational soul has not developed early on, we took the support of faith, Iman. And with the Iman, our parents taught us to practice our tariqah. They may or may not have taught the reason or the logic behind the practices. We also call that blind faith. Why we call that blind faith? As we doing without understanding it. You see, we are doing something without understanding it, meaning we are walking on Sirat al-Mustaqim with the closed eyes, but with the belief that we are practicing correctly. It's like a blind man putting his hand on the guide in front of him who could see, but he cannot. So he puts his trust in the guide. Just like that, our trust was on our parents and our early teachers. But we cannot walk on our own. We have been walking by keeping our hand on their shoulder. May they be the parents or our earlier teachers, and walked like a blind man. But we cannot walk on our own without opening our eyes. And how do we open our eyes? What will help us open our eyes? What would be the light in front of us when we open our eyes? Ilm, ilm, ilm. Learn, learn, learn. That will help us walk on this Sirat al-Mustaqim with open eyes, with understanding, and with the light of the ilm on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. If we continue to follow blindly, our example would be of a child who follows the path solely on the blind faith without knowing or understanding. As all of you may already know and have understood, the Shariat is the example of a child. Tariqat is the example of adolescent. And Hakikat is the example of adult. Where would we like to be? With our free will, we can choose to stay in our childhood following blind faith without ilm and understanding. Or we can say, no, I'm no longer a child and I can come into Tariqah and learn about our faith, about our religion, and about our Tariqah. And that will help us independently do some personal search as per Imam's Farman, understand our tariqah and the Imam, and then follow with confidence, with confidence, with full and firm faith. And firm faith, Iman, built on ilm and the understanding of the tariqah, no longer a blind faith. With this understanding, we must know the batin of everything and anything we do. Anything and everything we do. Starting from our tariqah, our rites and ritual. As mentioned in our previous session, a farman that if you do not know the meaning of the dua, then do not recite dua. Meaning, that's where our starting point should begin. Knowing the meaning of the dua, not the translation, meaning, the batin, the tawil of the dua. That's where we should begin. That should be our starting point. As in this extract, it says, indeed, Quran has an apparent, zahir, and a hidden batini aspect. Just like that, there is a zahir of our dua. We will talk about rites and ritual in our next session. But there is a zahir and then there is a batin. And that is what we need to learn, the batin of it. And that is exactly what Imam in his Farman is saying, that learn the meaning, the batin, the tawil, the essence of the dua. And if you do not know the meaning of the dua, then do not recite the dua. In other words, do not follow the faith blindly. Imam wants us to be grown up now. Imam is saying you are no longer a child. Imam wants us to move from the Shariat into the Tariqat and learn, and then move into the Hakikat and catch up with the time where we are today in this time and age, where we are in the Hakikat, not in the Shariat, and hopefully have moved by learning from the Tariqat into the Hakikat. And not only there is a hidden of the Zahir, but there are many, 7 hidden aspects. So even when you do learn the batin of the dua, one by one, go into it more and more deeper into the essence. Do not settle for the one meaning, but meaning after meaning after meaning, batin inside the batin, inside the batin, inside the batin, until you test the core of the dua, until you completely have understood and have received some sort of marifat, the recognition of the Imam within our dua. That is correct. If you know the meaning of the dua, if you know the batin of the dua, if you know the tawil of the dua, you will be able to find the recognition, the marifat of the Imam in our dua. Now, with that, we understand why Imam said, do not recite the dua unless you know the meaning of it. Practice without the ilm is like walking on a path blindly. And we do not want to do that, do we? Inshallah, let's look at this hadith, because the question also comes sometime, as it came last week actually. Where do we find this hakiki ilm? And why do we need this hakiki ilm? Don't we have enough in our tariqah and rites and ritual that we can just ride on what we have without learning anything? I think we have lost the batin and the true understanding of our hakiki tariqah. We have lost it. Because as soon as we start thinking as such, that can we not suffice with what we have in our shariat, in our rites and ritual. Why? The question, why do we need to learn the batin of the thing? That tells us we have lost the batin and the understanding of our tariqah. There is a hadith of Mubarak talks about that. That ilm is the miras, a lost gumshuda मिराज ऑफ द मोमिन हासिल कर लो जहां कहीं से भी आपको मिल जाए. टेक द इल्म हकीकी इल्म from wherever you find. Knowledge is the lost heritage. The key word lost. Lost. We have lost it. Ilm was our heritage. Mullah Ali has given us the ilm and the tawil, the understanding, the batin of our religion and our tariqah, but somewhere along the line, over the years, we lost it. We lost it. So find, acquire that ilm batin, ilm of our tariqah, from wherever you find. Wherever you find. It is yours to take, as it has been given to you by the Imam Zaman, and the Tawil and the Batin and the understanding has been given to us, Imam after Imam after Imam, starting from Mullah Ali to Shah Karim, Salawatullah Alayhi, today. It is ours if we choose to take it. If we choose to take it. Maulana Hazir Imam, in this farman in Khardar, Karachi, Jamaat Khana, this is the very farman that we have talked about, the second paragraph of this farman, where Imam says that find and go to those classes. He would use class. just like this session right here, where the religion education is given. Today, we're going to take the paragraph before that line. In this paragraph, Imam explains that there are three kinds of knowledge. There is three kinds of knowledge. Because we are adult and because we are educated, then you would have to see which ilm is true ilm, which ilm is the bookish ilm, and which ilm is not even the ilm. You have to judge and decide. Imam talks about there are three kinds of ilm: good ilm, mediocre ilm, the one I called it bookish knowledge, and then just bad ilm, just not good. And here is the Farman. You, Mullah says, you therefore have to make the judgment. You have to make the judgment. A careful judgment. Because this was the question last week. You have to make the judgment. A careful judgment as to what knowledge is good, which is the true ilm, what knowledge is mediocre, what is the bookish knowledge, and what knowledge is simply not knowledge. Is simply not knowledge. It's just a bad knowledge. But who's going to decide that? Who's going to judge that? And how would you judge that? It has to be you who would make the judgment, and you have to make the judgment carefully. Further, Mullah said, it is simply information which is not good for society. I'm sure you know those people around us who run here and there and everywhere. They listen to those who are not a part of our tariqah. Not only they are not part of our tariqah, but they are the enemies of our tariqah. They wanted to deviate you away from the Sirat al-Mustaqim and the Imam, but for I don't know what reason, I cannot tell you. And I'm sure you know somebody like that. Each one of us probably know somebody like that, who are listening to something and somebody, what Mola says, is simply information which is not good for society, is not good for society, period. Choose wisely. Choose knowledge in such a way that it can serve the balanced purpose of your lives. Therefore, the knowledge must be drawn not only from the secular, but also from the spiritual. Let me explain that part. And I'm going to use or paraphrase Imam Aka Muhammad Shah, Salawatullah alayhi, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imams, Farman. Who can teach and where would you find your true knowledge? Those who have complete ilm. Keyword, complete ilm. Not bookish ilm, not information, but good and complete ilm. So where do you go? Who do you seek? Those who have complete ilm, and on the top of that, he or she must have some spiritual experiences, understanding of the batin. That's Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman. This is Mola Baba's Farman. Drawn not only from the circular, not bookish knowledge, but also from the spiritual. Spiritual. Those who has hakiki ilm, complete ilm, with spiritual experiences. And that answers that question, where do we seek? Why do we have to seek? And how do we seek? That answer all of those questions. And that is also our understanding of how we should know the ilm, understanding the batin, before we practice. If you know the batin of it, you will see, guaranteed, you will see the benefit, the happiness will be much more, much greater, and much deeper than you ever have felt before. Another thing, if you know the meaning of the dua, and if you sit in the dua, guaranteed you will have tears in your eyes. You will feel one with your dua. You will feel closer to the Imam. How and why? Because you understood what you are saying. You understand the batin of the dua. And when you do, it will touch your heart. It will enlighten your intellect. You will feel closer to the Imam. That's what dua is supposed to do. We should not just say the dua simply for sake of saying it. खाली दुआ पढ़ लेना काफी नहीं है, उसको समझना है, उसके बातिन में उतरना है। अगर आप दुआ को इमाम के फरमान के मुताबिक मानी के साथ पढ़ेंगे तो जरूर आपको रूहानी तजर्बात होंगे, आपके दिल में रूहानी सुकून आएगा, आपको इमाम की कुर्बत महसूस होगी, आपकी आंखों में आंसू आएंगे, क्योंकि आज आपने दुआ को इमाम के फरमान के मुताबिक समझकर माने के साथ पढ़ा है, खाली खाली नहीं पढ़ा है। We have a Quranic reference here. It is said in the verse Surah 25, ayat number 27 and 28. On the day when the unjust one shall bite his hands, saying, would that I had taken the path with the messenger. Would that I had taken the path with the messenger. Woe to me. Would that I had not taken so and so as my friend. What is the meaning of this ayat here? Perhaps we would have listened to the Imam. Perhaps we would have taken the path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim, with the understanding of the Imam's Farman. Perhaps I would have understood my tariqah. Perhaps I would have taken the ilm, the true ilm, but look at me. I did not do that. And I have taken something other than that. Not only me, but my friends too. Because we are the creature of our environment. We follow, my apology ahead of time, like monkeys. We utter like a parrot without knowing what we are following and understanding. And we should not do that because that is not the farman of the Imam. क्या फरमाया कि काश हमने अपने इमाम की बात को सुन लिया होता और उसके रास्ते पर चल पड़े होते। शेम है मेरे पर कि मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया और ना मेरे दोस्तों ने ऐसा किया, क्योंकि हम अपने एनवायरनमेंट में रहते हैं और हम किसको फॉलो करते हैं? जो हमारे करीब करीब के लोग होते हैं। वो भी एक बंदर की तरह बस कॉपी करते चले जाते हैं, माफी के साथ, बहुत ही माफी के साथ। तो हम भी बंदर की तरह बस हरकत करते हैं समझे बिगर, उसकी नकल करते हैं समझे बिगर, और तोते की तरह बातों को रिपीट करते हैं समझे बिगर। काश कि हमने इमाम के फरमान को माना होता और अपने तरीके को और अपनी दुआ को समझा होता तो कितना अच्छा होता। ये है आयत। Perhaps we would have listened to the messenger. Perhaps we would have followed the Imam Zaman. Perhaps we would have listened to his farman when he said, understand your dua before you recite your dua. Learn the good ilm bateen. Join those classes where true ilm is given. But you be the judge of that. You make that careful decision. What is the true ilm, the good ilm? What is the mediocre ilm, the bookish knowledge? And what is just simply no good ilm and the information which does not do you any good? Be careful of that. Be careful of that. Further, in the next ayat, it says, O you who believe. Now, Allah is speaking of those who believe compared to one before who did not believe. O you who believe, spend what we have given to you before the day comes when there shall be neither bargaining nor friendship nor intercession, and the disbelievers, they are unjust. Here in this ayat, there is a dual meaning. Two meanings. One is geared toward the teachers and alim by saying, those what is been given to you, you give that to others. What has been taught to you, you teach to others. Because if you do not do that, then you are amongst the unjust. Because you were given something, so you may give the benefit of that to the others around you. So first, this ayat is geared toward the teachers and alim. Then secondly, it's geared toward the mu'mineen and the jamaat. Then whatever has been given to you, whatever resources you have available, use those resources, follow those resources, give from what has been given to you before the day of judgment comes, before the time to go. Once that time comes, there is no bargaining. Then you cannot bargain with him. And none of those friends, you remember in the above ayat? Let me show you that ayat again. Then me and my friends, we did not follow. There will no friend, there will no intercessor. They who deviate you away from the Sirat al-Mustaqim, they will not be your friend on that day. They will not intercede for you. They will not say, oh, I told him. No, it will be you who will be answerable. So, O believer, utilize, use what has been given to you. If you have been given something, and now we are talking about Amal, practice. If you have been given something, give forward. If it's a strength, give forward. If it's money, give forward. If it's resources, give forward. If it's ill, give forward. If it's a rohaniyat, give forward. Whatever has been given to you, spend that on the way to the others. Amal, अमाल की बात हो रही है कि जो कुछ आपको दिया गया है उसमें से खर्च करो। यहां पर इसके दो मायने होते हैं। पहले मायने उस्ताद और आलिम की तरफ जाती है कि जो इल्म और रूहानियत तुमको दी गई है उसको आगे बढ़ाओ, इसको बांटो, दूसरों को भी समझाओ, दूसरों को भी दो। और दूसरी तरफ से ये जमात के लिए, मोमिनों के लिए, मुरीदों के लिए जाती है कि आपके पास जो कुछ भी है उसको अच्छे कामों में इस्तेमाल करें, चाहे फिर वो पैसा हो, आपकी ताकत हो, आपकी समझ हो, आपका इल्म हो, आपकी इबादत हो, आपकी रूहानियत हो, जो कुछ भी है उसको आगे बढ़ाओ, आगे बढ़ाओ और दूसरों को के साथ शेयर करो उसको। इल्म एंड अमल, hand in hand. You cannot just learn and take and not give forward. So whatever Allah has given you, may it be the resources, money, knowledge, whatever that is, give forward. And how and what to give forward comes with the ilm. Ilm and amal, knowledge and practice goes hand in hand. So you know what is good knowledge and then you know what to give. Do not take bad knowledge and give to other. Do not do that. If you are listening to Gare and then you are forwarding that knowledge, the bad knowledge, to your friends, your Jamaat, your family, you will be held responsible for them. Because of what you have shared, deviate away single moment from Sirat al-Mustaqim, you will be responsible for that. My friends, my brother and sister, I dearly, dearly love you, but I see we are not listening to Imam's Farman. Let me display this Farman once again. We are not listening to Imam Farman. There are three kinds of knowledge. Look at the last one. Bad knowledge. Just simply no good. It does not do any good to society. Look at your chat. Look at the group you are in. And then you decide, careful judgment, how much trash, garbage, bad knowledge has been shared in the group that you are in. And unfortunately, you are part of that because you are sharing and resharing. Not only you are sharing, you are resharing without even know. Let me give you one example. And if you are with me in this session, you know who I am talking about. Someone shared in one of the group a was of a Molana, and he was teaching and preaching against Ismaili Tariqa, against Imam. So I asked that person, why did you share this? I'm not going to say he or she. That person said, oh, somebody shared with me, so I forwarded. You are responsible for it, for sharing and resharing. Be careful. Be careful. Be wise. Be wise. Do not take the bad knowledge that's against Imam's Farman. Do not listen to those who are just no good knowledge. And be careful what you moving, giving forward. Be careful. And those garbage are shared every single day on some of the group that you and I are in. Be careful, my friend, my brother and sister, be careful of that. It is evident from the verse above that bargaining for the hereafter should be done in this world. It is here that the friendship of those chosen by God should be attained, and the means of the intercession as well. What does it mean? Do your good deeds here today. Find those friends who are friend of Ali. Find those who are friend of Imam find those who are mu'mineen and leave those, just leave them to be those who are not friend of Ali, not friend of Imam, not friend of you or your family. Because if they are not friend of Imam, they cannot be your friend. They have a choice. They can do whatever they want. We have no issues. But we need to keep the friendship of those who are friend of the Imam, who are friend of the Ali, who have been chosen by the Imam Zaman, and make them your intercessor.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Otherwise, on the day of Qiyamah, there would be no time to find the friendship of those who are friend of Ali. There will be no time for intercession. Whatever you want to do, your good deeds, you need to find that good deed today while you are living. The day of resurrection is such that there is neither bargaining nor friendship nor intercession in it. Thus, it is evident that bargaining, friendship, and intercession for the hereafter have to be attained here in this world. Do your good deeds with your hand today. I was talking to somebody just last week. Again, I'm not going to say he or she. They said to me, after I die, I have written in my will to give all my things, money and otherwise, to the charity. And I asked, what about today? He said, no, I'm keeping all of that for me today. Meaning, they were going against this principle, Hathe is Sathe. Do your good deeds with your own hand today. Practice and make sawab, good deeds, saving for hereafter today. Do not leave it for others to do good deeds for you. That is not how it works. We learn and we practice today. We do not wait. Let me give you another example. Someone asked if, according to Nachis and Garib, there will be only two things to do hereafter: learn the ilm and do the ibadat. Then why do we need to learn today and do the ibadat today? What a great question. आज हमको अच्छे इल्म की क्या जरूरत है और इबादत करने की क्या जरूरत है, जबकि मरने के बाद इल्म ही हासिल करना है और इबादत ही करनी है. In other words, क्या कह रहा था, पूछ रहा था कि क्या हम दुनिया में आज अय्याशी कर लें, मजे लूट लें और मरने के बाद इबादत करेंगे और इनको हासिल करेंगे. That is exactly what you should not be doing. What he was saying, why don't I not just enjoy my life today, as tomorrow after I die, I would have nothing to do, so I will learn and I will do my ibadat hereafter. The point that was missed, that you should do your good deeds today, so you may not have to do your ilm and ibadat hereafter. But you become fana fi imam instantly and find your peace in the nur in imam's abode. That was the purpose. When did you miss that purpose? When did you misunderstood what was the purpose of our life? Was it due to the lack of knowledge, or was it due to the lack of understanding, or was that just a pure laziness that we do not want to give and do what it needs to be done in this world? Ilm and amal must be done here. So you do not have to wait for 50,000 years. What you can do in short life, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. You can do everything that you could possibly do in 50,000 years in this short life, in 40, 50, 60, 70 years. What is more wise thing to do than that? अकलमंदी किसमें है कि जो काम हम इस जिंदगी में 40-50 साल में कर सकते हैं, अगर नहीं किया तो उसके लिए 50,000 साल दरकार होंगे. कौन सी बात अकलमंदी की है? सोचें. What is the wise thing to do? This is the end of our session today. The gist or the essence of today's lesson was ilm and then the amal. Ilm first, then practice. Ilm, if you know the meaning, then practice will give you the spiritual happiness quickly within this world, inshallah. G. Let's open the floor for comments and questions. Anything you like me to explain back in Urdu, let me know.
Subhanallah, sir. Very good explanation, and it helps us to remind so many, farmans and speeches of Hazrat Imam, pointing us towards the same line of, that Sultan Muhammad Shah has always said us that તમે નિયાઝ હંમેશા પીધું 100 વર્ષ સુધીન પીધું 1000 વર્ષ સુધીન પીધું પણ તમે તેની માયના ના સમજ્યા. So it's like we are drinking the Abe Shafa all the time, but if we don't know the essence of it, then it's of just doing the blind faith. There is a joy in blind faith, but then also we need to experience this joy. So in order to experience, we have to
Inshallah.
learn the meaning. So shukran very.
Subhanallah.
Friends, if you have any questions, please post in the chat box, or you can raise your hand feature. Sir, I think you have already explained this. Please explain how one can go in the deeper and deeper understanding.
Start with the first meaning, tawil, understanding of the dua. Reason I have taken the dua as our first step, because that's the first thing we do every day, dua. There are many lectures provided on the meaning, not the translation. First, we have to understand the difference between translation and the meaning. Learn the meaning of the dua so you may benefit from your dua. And there is a one meaning, one tawil, second meaning, second tawil. That's how you learn deeper and deeper of the meaning. Let me give you an example. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, I recite. Okay. Who is Allah? First, tawil, meaning, understanding, Imam. But that's not the complete understanding. So you go to the deeper meaning of that. Then you come to say, instead of me learning the meaning of Bismillah Rahman Rahim, let me start with Bismillah. Bismillah in the name of Allah. And you say, this Bismillah is the Imam and he is the Rahim and the Rahman. Then you have to say, how is he Rahim and how is he Rahman? Then you learn about that. That's going deeper into the second meaning of that. Third, then you say, how about I don't even go to Bismillah, just go to Ba, and you learn about the Ba. What did Mola Ali said about the Ba? Ba is the door to the ilm and the batin of the Prophet Muhammad. And I am the door to the knowledge and hikmat of the Prophet Muhammad. So you learn the third meaning of that. And then you say, how about I don't even look at the ba, but just the dot under the ba? So you go into the deeper meaning of that. Then you have to see what is the meaning of the dot under the ba. Mola Ali says, I am the dot under the ba. I am the key to enter into the door. I am the tawil and I am the batin of the ba. Now you have gone into the deeper and the deeper and the deeper and the deeper meaning of Bismillah. We haven't even gone into Surah Fatiha yet. I remember delivering a lecture. I was supposed to deliver a lecture on Surah Fatiha. Entire 45 minutes that was assigned to me was gone in the explanation, the batin of Bismillah, not Rahmani Rahim, just Bismillah. Can you imagine how deeper the meaning can go? That's what we need to learn. The batin and the batin and the batin of Bismillah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and then Surah Fatiha, and then the rest of the dua. It would take about 10, 12 hours of your precious time. But believe me, compared to 50,000 years, this 7, 10 hour will be well worth for you to learn, learn, and learn. You will make your Imam happy because you follow the Farman and now you are learning, inshallah. Ji.
How can we learn all those things from where?
Ferial just shared a link in your drive. Can you see that in your chat?
No, I can't see the chat on my phone. I'm looking for
No
it, but I
problem.
can't find it.
Enter, tell us your phone number and Ferial will share. You have a WhatsApp?
Yeah,
Okay, share your phone number, please.
six 224 six
I'm
one
sorry.
six 8894.
Two, would you repeat? I'm sorry.
224 224 616 8894.
Okay, Farrell will send you a message on WhatsApp.
Okay.
All right. She will
Thank
send
you.
you a link.
Okay.
Within the link, you will find 1, 2, 3, 4, inshallah, more meaning and tawilat of the dua. Inshallah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah,
You're
Madad.
welcome. Ya Ali Madad.
Thank you, sir.
Ji.
Subhanallah. That was a very good explanation, a brief explanation, and more friends can, use that link and listen all the 6 parts of the dua's meaning and understanding. Thank you. Sir, there is a question in the chat explaining, asking, Yali Madad, can you please help us understand 7 hidden aspect as mentioned earlier?
Right. So since everything starts from 1 and go deeper, so I would say they learn the first meaning first and then second, and Nachi just said explain 4 times the meaning of Bismillah. If you would listen to those lectures on the meaning of the dua and especially the meaning of Bismillah, and when you come to the Ar-Rahman Rahim, you will have inshallah 4, 5, 6, and 7 deeper meaning of the Bismillah Rahman Rahim, inshallah. Ji. And then tomorrow, maybe there is more than 7. I do not want to limit myself to 7. There can be more, inshallah. Ji.
Yeah, shukran, alhamdulillah. That's the same continuation of the Farman. I would just say one more line of it. When Sultan Muhammad Shah in his Farman said that તમે નિયાઝ હંમેશા પીવો છો 100 વર્ષ સુધી પીધું 1000 વર્ષ સુધી પીધું પણ તેની માયના ન સમજ્યા તેની સેંકડો માયના છે. So um, Mola said that there are lots of hidden meaning into that, so it's not 1 or 7 or more. Yes.
Right.
Shukran. Thank you.
Subhanallah.
Friends, if you have any question, please post in the chat box or you can raise the hand and ask the question.
Sir, please न्यास की मीनिंग समझाएंगे?
Ji. Niyaz. So, Abe Shafa, the word, Abe Shafa and Niyaz. Niyaz literally means barakat. Abe Shafa literally means something that will purify you, cleanse you. How can a water can cleanse someone? If you take the example of the Abe Shafa or the water, how do we use water in our daily life? When our hand gets dirty, we wash them with the water. Correct? When we get dirty, we take a shower with the water. Just like that, when our soul gets dirty, we wash that with Abe Shafa. And when our intellect requires cleanliness, we take niyaz, barakat from it. Those are just some of the meaning of Abe Shafa. Fortunately, we have also delivered many lectures on Abe Shafa. There are many lectures under the uh, chapter of Jamaat Khana on Abe Shafa. But let me go a little bit more deeper on the Abe Shafa. Niyaz, the way we prepare the niyaz, I wanted to just give you one single, I want you to pay attention to that. When the niyaz is poured into the pyali, What do we say?
Yali,
Farman. We
Farmania.
say Farman, and then we reply Yali Ya Muhammad. Have you ever paid attention to that? Have you ever wondered why do we say Farman and why do we reply Yali Ya Muhammad? It is the Farman of the Imam that can give you the Abe Shafa, the water for the cleansing of your soul and heart. It is the Imam's Farman that makes the niyaz, the barakat for your soul and your intellect, and then for your physical life too. But we don't pay attention to those things. We are drinking niyaz like a water. And that's exactly what Imam says. You can drink the niyaz gallon by gallon, years after years, for 100 years. It will not do you any good. Why? Because you have taken the water. You have not understood the ilm, the tawil, the meaning behind that. You see that?
Yes,
Farman.
sir.
It is the farman that cleans you, not the water.
Sir, can I get the lectures for the Diaz also?
Sure, Firal Saba, there is a folder called Jamaat Khana Understanding, and within that folder, there are many lectures on the rites and ritual, including niyaz and chanta. I would say those are very important for us to understand quickly. G. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ji sir, we will post it on the WhatsApp group so all the friends can benefit from there.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
Sir, when we
Yali,
talked about, sorry, is there anybody talking?
uh,
Please go ahead. Who was talking?
याली मदद सर दुआ की मीनिंग की लिंक अगर ग्रुप में डाल दें तो हम सब भी
Dal di already. Firal Saba
ओके
ne dal
थैंक
di
यू
already.
थैंक यू
Ji Firal Saba.
Sir, when we were talking about doing the good deeds, it also reminds me that Hazri Imam has, in one of his speech, he said that it's not about what you have accomplished, but it's about what you have helped others to accomplish. So, but sir, in that thing, I'm thinking that in order to give to somebody, first I have to have it so that I can give it, right? So, what we are doing right now is we are taking the ilm. So we can give it to someone when we have the right knowledge, so that good knowledge. So that's what I was understanding in that, and it connects with your topic of ilm and amal. So
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we have to learn before we can give. That is so true. Because if we don't have anything to give, what can we give? That's absolutely correct. Yes.
so there is one question in the chat about friend is also just giving a comment about Imam Jafar Sadiq has once said, I can explain Bismillah meaning 70 times. So it
Hmm.
sounds just like a
Subhanallah.
comment.
Yes.
And then the friend is asking, Yal Madad, can it be correct to say that only dot under ba is everything? If you believe and nothing if you don't. So, like if you believe that the dot under ba is everything, then you are believing everything. But if you are not believing at least that, then you are not believing anything. Something I think that's what I'm
Let
understanding
me,
from the question.
right. So let me make an additional comment on that comment. If you understand the Ba as the Ali, his ilm and his savil, then that dot is everything. If you do not understand the ba and the dot under the ba, can you imagine you're reciting dua for 40, 50, 60 years and not even understanding the dot, the beginning of the dua? That is true then, that without learning and understanding the ba and the dot under the ba, which is the Ali, the Imam Zaman, the ilm and the tawil of the Imam Zaman, then there is nothing, meaning you have not understood anything. Subhanallah. Yes, absolutely. Ji.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, sir. Sir, the friend is asking, during the Diamond Jubilee Farman, Maula Bapa in one of Farman mentioned the word cool and explained as to that Allah told the Prophet to say. What is the tawil of that? Why would Imam mention that word to the Jamaat, that word to the Jamaat?
Okay. Can you ask me that one more time? I didn't catch the keyword in it.
So I think friend is mentioning about the Farman when Hazrat Imam was during in the whole Darbar. Hazrat Imam asked about the word cool, and
Okay,
he
that
also
was, I didn't
asked,
catch the word.
yes.
Got it. I didn't catch the word kul. Okay, got it. So kul from the kullu wallahu ahad. Say. What does kul mean? Say. And your question is, what does it mean when Imam mentioned the word say? So that's a great question. And I believe we had talked about that in some session. I don't remember which session was that. Otherwise, we could provide a recording for that. But when can you say something? When you know something. Am I right in that? You cannot say something without knowing something.
Hello? I can't hear you.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, my
दूसरी जगह
internet got this. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I was at the, you must say, and when can you say? When you know something. When someone says something without knowing, what do we call that? Bakwas karna, right? We use that word. कि ये शख्स बकवास कर रहा है, meaning he's saying something without knowing something. Correct? So Imam is teaching us in amazing, wisdomful way. Say, if you know, then Allah is one. Listen to me very carefully. Say, if you know, Allah is one. Kullu wallahu ahad. Say, if you know, Allah is one. And if you are saying Allah is one without knowing, then what are you doing? क्या बोलते हैं उसको? जब कोई जाने बिगर बोलता है तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? कि वो बकवास कर रहा है. You understand that? Imam is drawing our attention amazingly that only say Allah is one if you know who is Allah and you know He is only one. Then say Allah is one. Again, it comes back to the tawil and the understanding of the dua. If you don't understand the dua, don't say it. If you don't, if you want to say something, make sure you understand what you are saying. If you don't understand and if you say something, then that is not good. Imam is teaching us in this one single word. Otherwise, what does it mean? Say nothing, right? Know the meaning of it, ta'wil of it. Did I answer your question? And then more than that, I hope. Ji.
Yes, sir. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Yes.
ये आली मदद सर सर थोड़ा उर्दू में प्लीज बोलो ना सर वो आवाज की वजह से मिस हो गया
उर्दू में जी
हाँ सर वो कुल का जो आप समझा ना वो आवाज चले गई थी मेरे
जी मौला ने अपने एक फरमान में फरमाया कि क्या तुम जानते हो कि कुल के क्या मानी है? तो सवाल हुआ कि ऐसे फरमान का क्या मतलब हो सकता है? कुल के मानी है बोलो। तो चलो हमने बोल लिया कि कुल के मानी है बोलो। तो ऐसे फरमान का क्या मतलब? हमने क्या सीखा इस फरमान से? यहां पर मौला समझा रहे हैं कि जाने बिगर ना बोलो, कुछ भी जाने बिगर ना बोलो। तो जो शख्स जाने बिगर बोलता है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं उर्दू में? कि वो शख्स बकवास कर रहा है, यानी कि उसको पता नहीं कि वो क्या बोल रहा है, क्योंकि इसके पास इल्म नहीं है। इल्म के बिगर वो बोले जा रहा है, इसका मतलब है वो बेकार की बातें कर रहा है। तो इमाम फरमाते हैं पहले इल्म हासिल करो फिर बोलो कुल्लू वल्लाहु अहद। इल्म के साथ, तावील के साथ, समझ के साथ बोलो कि अल्लाह एक है। तो क्या तुमने जाना ये बात? क्या तुमको पता है अल्लाह कौन है? क्या आप बोलते हैं अल्लाह एक है? अगर आप जान के बोल रहे हैं, इल्म के साथ बोल रहे हैं, तो फिर ये दुरुस्त है कि कुल्लू अल्लाहु अहद। अगर आप जाने बिगर बोलते हैं, आपको पता ही नहीं है अल्लाह कौन है, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं? इल्म के बिगर जब कोई शख्स बोलता है तो वो क्या करता है? इज स्पीक नॉनसेंस, वो बकवास करता है। मौला फरमाते हैं इल्म के साथ जानो फिर इल्म के साथ बोलो कुल्लू अल्लाहु अहद, क्योंकि आप जानते हैं कि अल्लाह कौन है और वो एक ही है बस। अगर ये जानते हो तो बोलो कुल्लू अल्लाहु अहद, वरना दुआ ना पढ़ो जाने बिगर। इल्म के बिगर दुआ ना पढ़ो, तावील और समझ के बिगर दुआ ना पढ़ो। यहां पर ये इमाम ने समझाया इस फरमान में हमको। सुभान अल्लाह।
थैंक
जी
यू सर शुक्र अल्लाह
Friends, if you have any questions, you can unmute your device and ask. I don't see any questions in the chat, sir.
let's make the last comment or question. If you have any comment, Ferial or anyone who has a comment, let's make the last one and then we can start.
Friends, you can unmute your mic.
सर मैं नूरजहान लाखानी बोल रही हूँ डेलस से मुझे वो मीनिंग चाहिए दुआ की बिस्मिल्लाह और जो आप समझा रहे थे ना अभी वो प्लीज
जी आपका नंबर हमारे पास है?
हाँ मेरे ख्याल से है मैं अभी
ठीक है,
बोलूं
अब जी बोल दें।
817-715-3493
एंड आपके पास व्हाट्सएप है ना?
हाँ हाँ जी
ठीक है, आपको आ जाएगा।
थैंक यू सर सो मच
या अली मदद,
मोल्ला अली मदद या अली मदद
या अली मदद।
बस सर मेरे को भी मीनिंग चाहिए प्लीज
शबनम आपका नंबर हमारे पास है? आपका नंबर दे दें ताकि
416-858-0449 आपका आता है सब कुछ मेरे व्हाट्सएप में
अच्छा
तो
फिर
मेरा
आ
मीनिंग
जाएगा खुद, ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएगा। नो
ओके थैंक
वरीज।
यू थैंक यू याली
ठीक है।
मदद, बहुत मजा आई सुनने की आज, बहुत बहुत फाइन, अच्छा
शुक्र
था। थैंक
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह,
यू,
शुक्र
थैंक
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। Thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
Yali
very
Madad,
much.
यू।
याली मदद
Yali
याली
Madad,
Thank you,
Yali
friends, for
Madad.
joining. Yali Madad.
थैंक यू सो मच भाई।
Thank you
يا
sir
مدد
for wonderful.
شكرا شكرا
Yali
الحمد
Madad,
لله.
Thank you. Can I
Shukr
have
Madad.
also the information on the dua and the recitation and the meaning?
Yes, we will
Right. Do
send it.
you?
Yes, sir.
My telephone number is 1403-478-7000.
Okay. Okay.
Many
Done.
thanks and Allah bless
Thank
you.
you. May Mola bless me and you too. Yali Madad,
Maulali Madad. Thank you,
Yali
sir.
Madad,
Jolly Mother Aziz sir, thank
Yali
you so much.
Madad,
Thank you very, very much, sir.
याली मदद
Yali
शुक्र
Madad, Yali Madad,
शुक्र
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
मौला याली मदद भाई।